Hey, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to draw a simplified version of this human skull, which will be a real-time, still-life drawing demonstration. Just to clarify, I will not be drawing from the photo of the human skull that you're seeing right now, but rather, I'll be drawing from the actual human skull. The human skull is set up in front of me as a still-life drawing subject. On a side note, this is an anatomical skull that is offered and sold by artist and teacher Stan Prokopenko. I've included a link to the Proko skull in the description of the video. Okay, with that brief explanation and clarification, on to the drawing.
Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to do the size of my drawing. So I'm going to come down from my border maybe 1/2 inch, and I'm going to put a horizontal mark for the top of my skull. Now I want this to fill up my space, so I'll come down here to my bottom border and I'll do about the same thing, another horizontal mark about 1/2 inch away from my border for the bottom of my skull. Okay, and then what I want to do is I'm looking at my skull and I'm going to go ahead and draw in the most basic shape that I can use, which is going to be some type of oval, which I'll do something like this here. Now, as you can see, I'm holding my pencil quite far away from the tip, and I'm doing that so it makes it easy for me to sketch. I'm drawing this nice oval shape like this, as you can see. Very loose, very simple, very rough, and kind of messy, as you can see here. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and draw in some type of rectangle, and so I'm going to draw here like this, and then when I'm looking at that skull I can see that it's slanting upwards, so I'm going to draw a slanting upwards line, something like this here. Okay, and then from the top of my skull I'll draw down something like this for the front of it. And as you can see here, this is a very simple representation of a human skull with an oval and then some type of rectangular shape that you see right here. Okay, so now that I've got the basic shape that I want to use, it is time to add some more simplified shapes, add a few more details, and see if we can make this work. Okay, so I'm going to draw in this general area here a circle representing the eye socket. Something like this right here. Okay, and then right below that circle I'm going to draw a shape representing the cheekbone. Coming down like this, I'm going to come across like this. I'm going to bump up a little bit right here and then downwards. And I'm going to locate some type of socket shape right there. Okay, that's the bottom of the cheekbone, as you can see here. Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and work on this socket again, and I'm going to do the other side of the cheekbone socket, coming down here like this, and then I'm going to come across, downward, something like this. Okay, and this shape will represent that cheekbone area, as you can see. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to work on the nose. So what I want to take a look at is drawing by comparison. If this is the edge of my cheekbone, then that nose is going to be something out here like this, and it's fairly straight up and down. Okay, and then I'm going to come right here and I'm going to go ahead and put right here the pointy part of that nose. And this will come up like this, and then I'm going to have the brow in this general area here, like that. Okay, and then this, of course, going back into the forehead, top of the skull. Okay, that's looking pretty good. All right, so comparing then, the bottom of my nose will be something like this, and if I was to connect the top of the nose to the bottom, it wouldn't quite be a straight line, more like a slanted one, maybe right here. And so I'll go ahead and put the bottom of the nose right there. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then this will come in just a little bit like that. Okay, and now I have the nose, as you can see there. Okay, now moving from the nose, I'm going to draw out a bit. I can see it slanting out like this, and then downward right here, and this will be a shape for the top right here, top of the teeth. Now before I finish that, I'm going to come back to my cheekbone area right here, and I'm going to be about right here or so, and I'm going to come down with a slant right there, and that's going to give me the top of the teeth. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and connect that with a slightly curving line like this, as you can see. Okay, good. Now then I'm going to keep on going here, and I'm going to draw the shape for the top of the teeth, and I'm going to go like this, and I'm not going to be drawing any individual teeth at this moment. I'll come back here and I'll just connect it like a curving rectangle, as you can see right here. And this will give me the shape for the top of the teeth like that. Okay, continuing with the teeth, what I want to notice is the top of the teeth go this way, and then the bottom of the bottom teeth, they're kind of straight, almost vertical right there. Okay, there's a shape for the bottom of the teeth. I'll come back here and I'll draw that right there. And again, I'm just going to draw kind of a curving rectangular shape to represent the bottom of the bottom teeth right there. Once again, holding my pencil kind of far away from the tip as I'm making this sketch. Okay, that's looking pretty good so far. Okay, then from the bottom of the teeth, I'm going to come down a little bit like this, and then I need to notice that the chin kind of points out and ends up quite close to the end of my simplified shape, like that. But I like this nice slant that I have going here. My simplified shape was able to help me get that. Okay, here's the tip of the chin, right there. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay, I'm going to come back here, and then under the cheekbone, I'm going to draw this shape right here, and I can notice that it kind of is rounded, comes in a little bit like this. Got a little loop right here, and so I'm starting to detail this. This will come up like this and connect right there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I think, right now and finish off just this little detail. I can see the jaw kind of coming down with a curve like that below the teeth right there. Okay, then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to put in this shape right there like that. Okay, that looks good. And then what I want to notice is it's going to come down. It's no longer straight, but it'll come down like this with a curve, and then it will curve down, and this will give me the bottom of the jaw, which is sitting on the table right there. Okay, and that looks good. And then I'm going to connect it. Now I had a straight line to begin with, but I'm going to put in just a little bit of a curve to it like this, and coming down into the bottom of the jaw. Alright, that looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to work on some details. I'm going to come back to the cheekbone and I'm going to do a little bit more, I'm going to make some adjustments here to the shape. Coming downward, and I see this pointed bone somewhere about right there. I'll adjust that just a little bit. Right there it connects to the jaw, which I see right there. And I've got this bone shape right here. It's kind of like a rectangle. And then right in here I've got this nice circular shape, which I had right there. And I'll just look at that one more time. Okay, and I want that to be just to connect just a little bit more like that. Okay, now as you can see, when I've taken a look now at some smaller details, I've adjusted where I'm holding my pencil. I'm a little more near the tip as I'm sketching this in like that. Okay, got the socket shape right there. Okay, now I see this, I don't know the shape or the name of this bone, but it's kind of pointed and triangular. It'll come down like this, and it's a little more pointed, like I said, kind of a triangle like that, as you can see. Okay, now I'm going to continue detailing back here, and I'm going to sketch in this shape right here for this bone right here. Now this bone does not touch my table. Okay, so I've noticed that, so I'm drawing it higher, as you can see. And I'll come down over, and then this will come up. I can kind of see a crack right here. I'll just quickly indicate that, something like that. Okay, then continuing, I'm going to come down and I'm going to draw right here. This is where the bone is touching the table. So right here, there's some interesting shapes right there. There's one of them right there. I'll put another one right here. That's kind of where it's touching the table, as I mentioned, right here. And then this will be the back of it. Okay, so I've drawn the bottom. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to sketch in, I'm going to adjust the back of my skull shape. It's going to come a little more this way. And then I'll come up, and then I'll just take a look again at the forehead. I like that. This will come around like this. I'm just making some adjustments to the shape of that. My simple shape was pretty good, but there it is. Okay, now I'm going to put in just a few more details, but as you can see here, I've got the overall shape and proportion of my skull. I'm going to come back to the cheekbone. I'm going to look at this. Now I got a straight line right there. I'm going to adjust it just a little bit. I'm still sketching. None of the lines I'm drawing yet are permanent. I'm just looking. I've got the proportion and size of a detail. I just need to adjust it so it's a little more accurate. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. So here is the bottom of the eye socket, top of the cheekbone. I drew it as a circle, but now I need to adjust that shape so it's a little more accurate. So I'll sketch in here like this. I'll come up kind of straight, and then I'll put in this angle like that, right there. That looks pretty good. And there's a little detail coming down. Okay, that looks pretty nice. And it looks like I'm right in the right spot for the brow ridge, which I'll put right there. And there's kind of another bump of the brow ridge right here. And then this kind of comes up like that. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to continue with this the back of the eye socket. And I'll draw this downward like this, following my simplified shape, but now adjusting the details just a little bit. Put in a little curve right there. Okay, now for this this cheekbone area here, as you can see, I drew it really straight, And that's not quite accurate. It's close, but it's not quite accurate. So now I'm going to adjust that again. I'm going to get a nice curved line like this now. Coming downward, gets really thin, and I'll just kind of put it in like that. Okay, but that kind of guided me as to where I needed to be. Alright, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'll come back here. I'm going to take another look at the nose. Now I drew the nose with a straight line, as you can see, which was a simplified version of it. And now I'm going to put in just a little bit of a curve to it, like that. Now I need to do a little erasing there, but I'll save that for later. Okay, and I'm going to adjust the shape of the nose just for a little more accuracy as I come downward. I'll put a little bit of a bump in it right here. That looks good. Okay, I'm going to get this going up. But as you can see, I've got the general proportion and placement and size. Now it's just a matter of adjusting some of these details. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Bottom of the nose, once again, I've got the top here. I still don't want to spend time adjusting or drawing the shape of the teeth. So I'll just look at that one more time here. Yes, that's pretty good. Shape for the top of the teeth right here. Once again, not going to draw those yet. Okay, like it. Bottom of the teeth, as I mentioned, straight. Yep, that still looks pretty good to me. There we go. And the chin, interesting shape like that. Okay, that all looks pretty good. Okay, and I think I've pretty much got that there. So as you can see, as I look at this, I've got the overall shape and proportion of my drawing. That looks pretty good. Okay, so it fills up the space, top to bottom. I like it how, I've got this fairly well centered. Got a nice representation. So what I need to do now is I need to go in. I want to detail the teeth carefully, one at a time, of course, and I want to make adjustments to everything I've drawn, comparing my drawing with my object until I arrive at an accurate line drawing. Then, if I have time, if my drawing is accurate, then I would want to take some time and add some shading. But sometimes students make a mistake is they shade a drawing that is not accurate, hoping it'll make it look better. But it's always more important to get the drawing accurate first and then do your shading. So there's a demonstration making a simplified version of a human skull by looking at an actual skull instead of a photograph. And we call that a still life drawing.
So my sketch is done. I can now use my rough, simple shape sketch as a guide and as a framework for where to put in the details and to tighten up my drawing. All right, off you go. Your assignment is to go find a model human skull or an animal skull as a still life subject. Set it up in front of you at about the level of your eyes and make a simplified version of it using the circle, oval, square, rectangle, and triangle as your simple shapes. Once you're happy with your simple shapes version, start on the details, letting the simple shapes drawing guide you as to where and at about what size your details should be drawn. Thanks again for watching and drawing. I hope you had a good time and that you learned something. I hope to see you again someday back on my channel. Have a great day, and don't forget to keep on drawing.